Welcome to the Impressa Era podcast, a realm where intuition flows through real life and your personal power is celebrated. I'm your host, Queen Impressa, and together we'll explore tarot, self-mastery, sensuality, and aligned growth. Now take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's get into it. Welcome back to the Impressa Era podcast, my loves. Get comfortable with me for a little while because today's conversation feels like a warm candlelit exhale. I want this episode to feel like the moment you finally take off your bra after a long day, wash your face, slip into something soft, and remember that you're a person deserving of care too. I think so many of us have been moving through life at full speed for so long that we've forgotten what it feels like to be truly present with ourselves. We rush through mornings, multitask through our meals, scroll while we rest, and collapse into bed exhausted while wondering why we still feel so disconnected. And honestly, I think a lot of us are craving rituals without even realizing that's what we're missing. Now, when I say ritual, I know some people immediately picture giant altars, expensive candles, moon water lined up on the windowsills, and an entire aesthetic that looks like it belongs in a dark academia Pinterest board. And listen, I love a gorgeous spiritual setup as much as the next spiritually spicy woman, but ritual is so much deeper than aesthetics. Ritual is intention meeting repetition. It's the energy you bring into ordinary moments that transforms them into sacred ones. It's less about performance and more about the presence. Your life does not become magical because every detail looks perfect. Please remember that. Your life becomes magical because you start treating yourself like someone worthy of care, attention, softness, and devotion. I think that's why rituals matter so much right now. Life feels loud for a lot of people. Everyone is overwhelmed, overscheduled, overstimulated, and just emotionally scattered. We're constantly consuming information, plugged in, feeling pulled in 100 different directions. And somewhere inside all of that noise, many people have lost the art of tending to themselves with intention. Ritual brings us back home. It reminds us that even in the middle of a chaotic world, we can still create moments that belong entirely to us. And I've realized over the years that some of the most grounding moments in my life are not dramatic milestones, which I've spoken about before. They've been the little rituals that quietly held me together when life felt overwhelming. Making tea before sitting down to journal or start my morning, lighting a candle before I start recording my content, pulling a tarot card before making a spell work decision, or cleaning my home while I have music playing in the background and allowing it to feel like an energetic reset instead of a punishment. Now I take my time with my skincare instead of rushing through it like a chore. And those moments may look small from the outside, but they carry so much energy and intention. And they remind your nervous system that you're safe enough to slow down and experience your own life. And honestly, I think many women have been taught to treat themselves like machines instead of human beings. We glorify all of this burnout and call it ambition, we rush through our lives trying to prove our worth and quietly starve ourselves of presence. And ritual interrupts that pattern. Ritual says, I deserve to experience my life while I am living it. And there's something so powerful about reclaiming these ordinary moments and refusing to treat them like they're disposable. I think one of the reasons rituals feel so healing is because they create rhythm. Human beings naturally crave rhythm. Nature itself moves in rhythm. The moon has phases and the ocean has tides. The seasons shift and return. There is a reason repetitive grounding practices feel calming to the body and spirit. Ritual creates familiarity, and familiarity creates safety. When you have small moments you can consistently return to, life begins to feel less chaotic because your spirit knows it has places to land. And baddies, let me tell you something. Your rituals do not need to be extravagant to be meaningful. Social media has convinced everyone that healing and spirituality need to be expensive, perfectly curated, and flawless. Meanwhile, some of the most sacred moments happen quietly, while in real life, standing in your kitchen making coffee before everybody else wakes up, opening your windows while you clean your home, putting lotion on your body with intention and lovingly after a shower can become a ritual. Even cooking dinner can be a ritual. The sacredness is not in perfection. The sacredness is hiding in your presence and intention. And this is what I wish more people understood, because ritual is about adding intimacy into your life and deepening your relationship with yourself in the moments you move through every single day. I think many of us are waiting for huge transformations to finally feel connected or fulfilled, while we're completely overlooking the tiny moments that actually shape our emotional world. Your life is built from repeated moments, and your habits shape your days. Your days shape your energy, and your energy shapes your experience of living. I also think rituals can become little love letters to your future self. There's something so beautiful about waking up and making choices that support the version of yourself you're growing into. When you take care of your space, nourish your body, check in with your emotions, and create grounding practices, you're building trust with yourself and showing yourself that your well being matters. That trust changes everything. Confidence is not only built through these huge accomplishments, sometimes it's through consistency. And sometimes it grows because you kept showing up for yourself in small, meaningful ways. And I really want to emphasize this because I know there are people listening who immediately think, I do not have time for rituals. Baddies, rituals are not about creating a second full-time job for yourself. This is not about waking up at 4 in the morning to meditate for an hour while drinking imported herbal tea under a perfectly aligned moon cycle. Please, okay, please be serious. Ritual should support your life, not stress you out. A ritual can take 2 minutes. The point is not the length of it, the point is the intention. So maybe your morning ritual is simply sitting in silence before checking your phone. Maybe your nighttime ritual is spraying your pillow with lavender and thanking yourself for making it through another day, or taking your lunch break outside so you can feel the sunlight on your skin. Maybe it's pulling a tarot card every Sunday and asking yourself what energy you want to carry into the week ahead. Those moments matter because they remind you to participate in your own life instead of just surviving it. And I think survival mode has stolen so much softness from people. When you're constantly overwhelmed, disconnected, and emotionally exhausted, life starts to feel very transactional. Wake up, work, handle responsibilities, scroll, sleep, repeat. Ritual reintroduces beauty into the ordinary. And it reminds us that life is not only about productivity, it's about experience, sensation, romance, and softness, about making your little corner of the world feel nourishing to your spirit. That is why I love romanticizing life so much, not in a delusional way, but in an intentional way. I think there's something deeply healing about deciding your life deserves beauty now instead of waiting for some future version of yourself to finally enjoy it. Use the pretty mug, buy the flowers, wear perfume to bed, light the candle on a random Tuesday, and open the curtains and let sunlight pour into your room like something sacred is entering with it. Those tiny choices communicate something important to your spirit. They say, my life is happening right now, and I deserve to experience it fully. I also believe rituals can support emotional healing in ways people underestimate. Our nervous systems remember patterns. The body responds to consistency. So when you repeatedly create moments of grounding, calm, beauty, and intentional care, your body begins learning that safety exists there. Ritual can become an emotional anchor. A cup of tea before bed, a playlist during your evening shower, journaling after the hard days. These things may seem simple, but simplicity does not make them insignificant. And let me say this too, because I think it matters. Ritual is not about perfection. Some days your ritual may be elaborate and beautiful. Other days it may simply be taking one deep breath before reacting. Both of those count. This is not another standard you need to perform perfectly in order to feel worthy. Ritual should feel supportive. It should feel nourishing. And the goal is not to become the most spiritually ecstatic woman on TikTok. The goal is to feel more connected to yourself while living your real, actual life. And I think that's where the real magic lives, honestly, in embodiment. and deciding your life deserves tenderness regardless of what your circumstances currently look like, and understanding that softness is not weakness. Softness can actually be an act of resistance in a world constantly trying to harden us. So choosing presence, care, rest, and joy in difficult times is so powerful. It reminds your spirit that there is still life to be lived beyond stress and survival. And can we talk about how rituals also help shape identity? Because I think this is huge. The woman you're becoming needs practices that support her emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and energetically. So if you want to feel grounded, create grounding rituals. If you want to feel abundant, create rituals around gratitude, receiving, and stewardship. If you want to feel confident, create rituals that help you connect with your body and voice. Identity is reinforced through repeated action. The small things you consistently do begin shaping how you experience yourself. It's just like going to the gym. But that doesn't mean you need to completely reinvent your life overnight. Please do not overwhelm yourself trying to suddenly become a wellness goddess with a 17-step morning routine. That's not what I'm talking about. Sometimes the most transformative thing you can do is choose one ritual and commit to making it meaningful. One sacred pause in your day will you return to yourself intentionally. One moment when you stop rushing long enough to actually feel present in your own existence. And for me, personally, doing this podcast is a ritual of mine. Every week I sit down, I go over what I have written down to talk about, and then I let it flow. And it's been so helpful for me to stay on track. We are on episode 18. That is 18 weeks of consistency. And I'm feeling pretty proud about that. And I think so many people, are hungry for a kind of connection that something like a podcast can offer, right? People want grounding, peace, they want clarity. But peace is often built through repeated moments of care, through the rhythm we were talking about, and learning how to slow down enough to hear yourself again. Ritual creates that space. And honestly, life becomes so much more beautiful when you stop treating every moment like something to rush through. There is sweetness available in ordinary things when we allow ourselves to notice it. The smell of your coffee or your tea in the morning, music playing while the sun sets through your windows, candles flickering when you plan your week, a clean kitchen after a long day. Please tell me, if you know, there's nothing like it. These tiny moments become luxurious when presence enters the room. And I want this episode to be permission for someone listening to stop waiting for life to become perfect before deciding it deserves your time, your intention, and your ceremony. Your life deserves tenderness now. Your body deserves care now. And your spirit deserves attention now. You don't need to earn softness through exhaustion first. You don't need to hit a milestone before allowing yourself to experience. There is sacredness available in this current version of your life, even when you're still growing. So this week, I want you to choose one ritual. Just one. Make your coffee slowly with intention. Pull a tarot card before bed. Light a candle while you're answering the emails if you work from home. Put your phone away while eating dinner. Make one small part of your day feel intentional and nourishing. Then notice how your spirit responds when you stop abandoning yourself inside your routines. Because, baddies, your life does not need more pressure. Your life needs more presence, more softness, more moments that remind you that you're not a machine built only to produce. You are a living, breathing person deserving of beauty, intimacy, and care. And maybe that is the real magic of ritual after all. It reminds us that ordinary life can still feel sacred when we choose to meet it with intention. Well, thank you for spending this time with me in the Impressa Era podcast, my loves. If this episode spoke to you, maybe share it with someone who may need a little more softness and grounding in their life right now. And feel free to comment in here or send me a DM and tell me what rituals you're bringing into the next season. And as always, stay soft, stay sacred, and stay in your magic. Until next time, bye, lovelies.